Imagine you're the designated driver of a bus jam packed with opinionated stakeholders. Some want to head north, others south, and all of them are shouting directions at once. You're low on fuel, nerves on edge, and everyone's wondering why aren't we there yet? A foundation sprint is your route map, a clear plan to help you avoid endless detours and keep your team driving in the same direction. Hi, I'm Dana Vetan, and in this video, we are going to explore what the foundation sprint is, why it's so effective for aligning diverse team, and how it sets the stage for creating something people actually want. Based on Jake Knapp and John Zeratsky's book Click, this workshop is about identifying, clarifying, and aligning your boldest assumptions before you sink time and money into an idea that could stall in a crowded market. If you need to get your entire bus of stakeholders traveling in the same direction, keep watching. So, what is a foundation sprint? Developed by Jack Knapp and John Zeratsky and popularized through their book Click, the Foundation Sprint is a 2 day structured workshop that brings decision makers and subject matter experts together to refine potential solutions and form a testable hypothesis. Instead of spending weeks in endless meetings, you compress alignment and strategy into a high impact 2 day workshop. Imagine sending a football team onto the pitch with no game plan, no formation, no clear strategy, and no agreement on how to win. Unfortunately, that's how many companies operate. They kick off projects with vague goals or misaligned assumptions. Each stakeholder has a different vision of success. Time and budget evaporates in missed opportunities, and worse yet, they might discover a competitor is already dominating the field or that they are solving a problem nobody really has. A foundation sprint dramatically reduces these risks by surfacing hidden assumptions before you even step onto the pitch. It follows the start not perfect principle. Your team doesn't need a 300-page playbook. Instead, you pull key players together, challenge assumptions, and lock in critical decisions quickly. By highlighting potential issues early, you can pivot your tactics at a fraction of the cost rather than face that heartbreak in overtime when it's too late to turn the game around. And what you end up with is a clear, testable hypothesis like if we help customer X solve Y problem using that approach, they'll choose us over competitor because of our unique advantage. The team is everything. Bring the wrong people and you risk detours, confusion, or strategic blind spots. A foundation sprint works best with the right mix of decision makers and executives who are needed to set the direction and make the final call when the path isn't so obvious. Hands on experts like designers, engineers, researchers, or marketers who understand real customer needs and the day to day challenges. If you only bring stakeholders, it's easy to get stuck in strategy debates without real on the ground insights. If you include only subject matter experts, you might lack the top level alignment and risk building something that is disconnected from the organization's broader goals. So, who should be in the room? Ideally, you want to have 5 people, so you have a team that's small enough to stay focused, but big enough to cover key perspectives like the decider, who's the person who makes the ultimate judgment call. They could be a founder in a startup or a key executive in larger enterprise. Customer expert, this could be a researcher, product manager, or marketer who genuinely understands the customer challenges and their motivations. Engineer, technical expert, someone who knows feasibility and constraints, so you don't chart a route that's impossible to drive. Design product lead, the creative mind who can visualize solutions and help shape that user experience. And of course, growth marketing expert who ensures the solution is positioned effectively and it resonates against competitors or the status quo. Of course, your team might look different. Maybe you need a legal expert or a data scientist if analytics is crucial. The point is to have this balance, strategic and practical, visionary and grounded. Now, let's talk about the role of the facilitator. On a bus full of strong personalities, you need a skilled conductor who keeps the ride smooth. That's the facilitator, a person who knows the process inside out, ensuring everyone stays on track, asks the right questions and challenge assumptions, steers discussions towards decisions, not endless circus or dead ends. A skilled facilitator prevents this workshop from dissolving into the type of meeting where everyone just talks but no one decides. So they set the cadence, break deadlocks, and make sure the workshop delivers on its promise of rapid alignment and clarity. So, how does it work? In this course, we'll be using our Foundation Sprint Miro board template that lays out every activity, every exercise, and facilitation tip for your today workshop. This board acts as your roadmap, helping you welcome the team, walk through the agenda, and guide the group towards those meaningful decisions we're trying to make. For day one, your Miro board includes frames to basically kick off the workshop. You will announce the workshop objective, share the agenda and the outcomes of each day, introduce all team members, and even run a short icebreaker that puts the team at ease. Now, right after introductions, we jump to the four fundamental questions. Who, who is your customer? What's the problem you are solving? Which advantages do you have as a team or as a company? What other solutions or competitors exist out there? Answering this might seem basic, but trust me, it's not easy. You'd be surprised how often teams disagree on who the real customer is. So, by hashing this out early and capturing them on the basics template, you align the team and avoid building features for this phantom user. Next, you'll move into identifying the attributes that make you stand out. Is your product faster, cheaper, smarter, or do you have a unique differentiator like best in class integration or industry specialized knowledge? This is also where you define key principles to keep your team aligned. Think of them as ground rules for decision making throughout the entire project. Finally, you wrap up day one by creating your mini manifesto or concise statement clarifying what you do best, what you do better than anyone else. It's like that pep talk the coach gives before the match. It sets the team's focus and motivation for day two. If day one was all about setting the foundation, day two is about choosing an approach. This part is where we explore multiple solutions or pre pivots and pick the best path forward. Why settle for one approach when you can test several angles early? So, your team creates quick one page summaries for each potential approach. And that might sound simple, and it actually is. These summaries let you see at a glance how each solution tackles the problem differently. So you're not committing everything to one idea that in the end might fail. Next, you'll run each potential approach through magic lenses. Picture this as four different viewpoints, like a team of rivals. Customer experience, does the solution delight customers or just meets basic needs? Pragmatic lens, is the approach technical doable? Growth potential, will the solution scale smoothly if demand spikes? Money lens, this is your financial viability. By the end of this step, you'll see each approach's strengths and weaknesses clearly. Maybe approach A checks all the customer experience boxes but kills your budget, while approach B is cheaper yet less innovative. Either way, you can compare them side by side in a rational way during a team discussion. Finally, we put it all together in a single statement, your founding hypothesis. In the simplest terms, it captures who you're helping, what you're solving, and why you stand out. Think of it as your guiding star or your product's elevator pitch on steroids. If we help customers segment, solve key problem with chosen approach, they'll prefer us over competitors because of this unique advantage. It's the first thing you'll want to validate in a design sprint or via user interviews. The beauty of the foundation sprint is that by the end of day two, you have crystal clear alignment and a well articulated reason for why you're building this product in the first place. All right, so let's talk about when this foundation sprint is really your best move. Because I get it, sometimes you're knee deep in other frameworks or juggling endless product backlogs. When does it make sense to pause and run a workshop like this? You're at a crossroads. Maybe you're uncertain if you should invest in a new product or pivot an existing one. It's like staring at a fork in the road with no sign points. The foundation sprint gives you a quick, structured format to evaluate those paths before you invest tons of resources. Or you're bursting with ideas. If your team can't decide which opportunity to chase, because let's be honest, product people are never short of ideas, the foundation sprint clarifies your priorities fast. You block yourselves in for 2 days, and by the end, you know which concepts are worth pursuing. Or three, you're stuck in endless debates. If your meetings start with maybe we should and they end with let's pick this up next time, and you do this again and again, you need a structured process that forces a decision. The foundation sprint does exactly that. You compress the conversation into a finite window and come up with a single testable strategy. Before you dive into your own foundation sprint workshop, here are a few things to keep in mind. It's deceptively simple, but demands deep thinking. The steps seem straightforward. Align on the basics, identify differentiators, and craft a hypothesis. But it's hard, and it depends on your team's ability to apply market knowledge, user insights, and business expertise. It's not just about following a process, it's about who is in the room and how well they use their judgment. It's also about alignment, not discovery or problem definition. If your team is still figuring out what problem to solve, then the problem framing approach might be a better fit. And good news, we just launched an on demand problem framing course to help you with exactly that. So check out the link in the description. The foundation sprint assumes you already have a grasp of your problem space. It's designed for teams that need to align on the direction, not uncover the problem from scratch. It's not about solving the problem, it's about choosing the direction, as I said. You won't fix everything in 2 days. What you will do is to articulate your best guess strategic direction so you can move forward quickly. Then you test and refine. That's why pairing the foundation sprint with a design sprint it's so powerful. First, you align on a direction, and then you prototype, test, and get the real user feedback within days. Looking to bring design sprints into your organization, we just happen to offer the best enterprise design sprint course out there. So check it out in the description. The best time to challenge your assumption is before you spend months building a product nobody needs. That's the heart of the foundation sprint. It's short, energizing, and yes, a little bit like tuning your instruments. Once you've done it, your whole team plays together in a perfect sync. In our playlist, you will find step by step lessons and real world examples to guide you through the foundation sprint process. Make sure you watch them in order as each lesson builds on the previous one to help you get the most out of the method. Also, make sure you download our Miro board workshop template so you have it handy when you start learning. If you want to see how the foundation sprint fits with other methods like problem framing and design sprints, check out our latest webinar where we break it down when to use each and how they work together. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the first lesson, Foundation Sprint Day 1, Aligning on the Basics.